Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be feud prep for the Flash feuds, and for the first time I'm going to break all of them down in the same video. I'm going to be very busy this weekend and won't have time to do prep videos in between, so I'm going to try and do all of them ahead of time. So I will do them in order. So you can revisit the video if you want as the feuds come out at your leisure, or you can watch it through all at once, whatever is helpful to you. It's going to be a little bit difficult to do, so hopefully it makes sense and you're able to understand and I'm able to give you good info. We'll see how it goes. So as usual, I got the perk sheet on the right. I got the perks I actually have on the left. Obviously, they're not still active at 24 days anymore. This is from the first one. I saved my screenshots. And then at the top here, I've listed the requirements and stuff for the feud. First time win bonuses, timer, if it's men's or women's, minimum required, all that stuff. I thought that would be helpful, so I got that up there. So let's start checking out this first feud. So the minimum's 5. Each unique win is 20,000 points. You can bring a prop. Brawls are 2 versus 2. Timer's 30 minutes, and it's a men's feud. So this first one, and a lot of these, most of them actually, line bonuses are really hard to get. So don't be surprised if you're not filling any line bonuses, and in a lot of cases, at least, or this case anyway, not really game changing. I mean, unless you have Aleister Black, then you're going to have a lot of really good line bonuses and a fun feud. So with the minimum being 5 in this first one, and there being a ton of really strong zombies for the 2020 zombies, you're going to want to definitely be careful how big you go with your roster. I don't have like Zombie Taker, who's very strong, and things like that. So a lot of, if you're going to go after a line bonus, probably will really depend on who you have. But a lot of guys, of those really strong guys, don't need the line bonuses either. So the middle one is definitely the easiest one to fill, since you can use any Roman, any Kane, and any Aleister Black. So you could put all your free guys in there. I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing that. Kane doesn't benefit from this line bonus. Aleister Black does a little bit. And Striker Roman a little bit too. Not enough that it really matters though. The big thing is, I would say, bring your 5, not necessarily your 5 best, but bring a good chunk of your best guys, and then have 2 guys that maybe, if they aren't as strong, will at least be able to win against even talented people. So don't chase the line bonuses. If you really need it, if it really makes someone better, okay. So like this bottom line bonus would be very helpful for Drew with his black moveset, since it takes 8 MP to get started. That 1+ move charge is pretty good. And that is my cats in the background going berserk, so don't mind them. Every time I do a video, they decide it's time to play. Could potentially help Zombie Brock a little bit with the destroy 1 gem, but like I said, it's not completely OP'd. Trickster Undertaker is going to be turn 1 with the sub either way. So if you had a really high Drew and you wanted to you were building your feud lineup around Drew, then yeah, sure, go for this bottom line bonus. But otherwise, I would say kind of pick your spots. You know, Masters of the Universe Cena is pretty solid feuder for a striker. So potentially he would be a good run if you have a higher leveled one of him. But the main thing I want to avoid is super rosters. I do not want to run into a Zombie Austin, Zombie Kane, Zombie Taker, Zombie Cena team that has a Z Roman as well. So this that's kind of what I'm looking to avoid. So be smart with your teams. Make sure you have all the trainers you possibly can. So they're really good. The big problems I see this feud, like normal, this is an open zombie slot. You will see a bunch of Zombie Austin, so make sure you have a counter to him, whether that's a turn 1 sub guy, like Trickster Taker here. He's got a turn 1 sub. Phenom also has a turn 1 sub and a purple MP steal that's ready turn 1. So if you need to use one of those guys, go ahead and do that. Like I said, potentially Robo Cena, as I like to call him, is really, really strong. Don't forget, if you have a decent Zombie Brock, he has a purple MP steal if you want to go that route. He also has a bleed. Oh, what is this? Okay. Okay. Hopefully it's not a bunch of guys. We'll have to report that. Alright, well, apparently Zombie Brock's moves are all kinds of buggered. Alright. Anyway, won't get sidetracked on that. Hopefully that's fixed soon. That's really weird. Alright. Does it still show them? No, it doesn't. They're all named the same thing too. Okay. Alright. Well, anyway, if he's fixed, Zombie Brock will have an MP steal. You'll potentially, he could potentially be a good one. If you use Striker Brock, he's pretty solid NBT. A little bit higher move charges. Actually, let's. I think they're. Mine isn't 4-star, so it doesn't matter. He won't show up, but. Alistair Black, this line bonus actually does benefit Striker Black quite a bit because he's spamming the board with black gems. So between that and already having the gem generation increase maxed for the bleed for Sako, that's a pretty good play for me because he's going to make a lot of blacks. So I feel like he'll hit way above his weight. So you could potentially do something like that there. Roman, I probably... of the non-rare Romans, Powerhouse is the best, I would say, but I have his trainers in use, so I won't be using him. In Open Zombie, use that for your use that for your best zombie that you have that doesn't fit in one of those. So, you could use Zombie Rock if you got him. Any zombie, it's open. So take advantage of that slot. But I would say go in with 5. Definitely don't go super strong. You saw the 5 that I plan on using. Not a huge roster. I would say once you start getting over 55, 60K, you're going to see a lot of harder teams. It is the last feud of the month, so I would not recommend spending coin to get more perks. You want to do that on the first feud and take advantage of the spending for all the feuds for the month, so you don't you get more bang for your buck. If you do need to buy some perks, the cheap ones are the trap gem, as you can see, is cheap, 945k to max it totally, and that's pretty solid. Submission, protect, power gems also potentially pretty solid, but like I said, I don't spend coin on perks after the first feud because I want to get as much bang for my buck. As usual, in my opinion, the best are the ones that work on everyone. So MP up is going to work on all your guys. You get the bonus of silence gem damage, do more damage. Colored generation is going to work on pretty much all your guys. It works against excuse me, pretty much all your enemies, and bleed move does more damage. And the blast sorry, the blast gem wasn't super expensive, and it's pretty useful for like Quake and Zombie Austin's blast build that was in the first one. So those are the three I have. Obviously, equip the ones you want. But this first feud is going to be pretty rough as far as line bonuses, and you do not want to go in big, or because there's going to be some potentially really strong rosters. Again, Zombie Kane, Zombie Austin, and Zombie Taker are going to be problems. You're going to want to have an answer for them. Whether it's your own turn 1 stun guy, a guy that can win on turn 1, or a turn 1 sub guy to drain them. And being a little more restricted, there's a few less of those options. So there's no option for 6. So you're going to have like a Phenom for the purple MP steal, like we said, or a sub turn 1, under Trickster, sub turn 1, you know, that kind of stuff. So be smart about it, guys. Feud fast. Make sure you can get unique wins. So have all of your 5 with the best trainers they can, so they can win above their weight. And when I say that, I mean above their talent level. So you can get fast wins and unique wins for that 20,000 extra bonus points. It's going to be a very busy weekend. We're going to have Feud going on, as well as Blitz. The solo milestone looks like it's going to take a lot of work, but it looks like there's going to be some pretty great stuff in there. So I plan on having a really busy weekend playing a bunch. So hopefully you guys have a good weekend and a good first feud. We're going to jump into the second Flash feud now. We'll see how this goes. So this is about the it's not pretty, but it's got all the information on it on the right of my screen here. We're going to get out of here because this screen isn't going to be useful anymore. We'll just go to my roster and filter it by women. Okay, so this first feud, or the second feud, first ladies feud, only ladies feud. Women, minimum required is 4. Again, 2v2, prop limit of 1. Unique win bonus is huge on this one, 30,000 points, and a 30-minute timer. So very important that you can get those individual wins in this feud. That's going to be your best weight of points, and the first time win bonus is the most of this feud, more than any other. So the lines, really hard to fill. The bottom one, you need a Hall of Fame and a 5-star female. So I don't have either of those 2 requirements. I should have a 5-star by now. I will next month. A lot of you will have a 5-star. Probably Mela for a lot of people, and Bailey being the other one. I would say those are the most common ones you'll see in the 5-star slot. Hall of Fame, a lot of people don't have Hall of Fame female, myself included, so I don't expect to see this lane filled a ton. And you know, it's not the best lane bonus anyway, so I certainly, in this case, I wouldn't try to go after filling this lane bonus. I would stick with 4 to my minimum, unless I had like every female. That's the rare ones to fill it completely up and take huge advantage of it. So don't chase the line bonus anyway, even if you are able to fill it on this one. It's kind of meh. The middle one obviously is very good if you have Lacey Evans, which is very rare. So a lot of you don't. I don't. So keep that in mind. With the +2 purple MP, any trickster is going to take care of itself. You know, that's going to be beneficial to pretty much all the tricksters. So it is what it is. And then for the 3-star or higher, you know, someone that takes advantage of either purple MP or has a big finisher that you have left. So it's almost impossible to predict, and these line bonuses are so rare. I don't want to go crazy with that. I think I want to talk more about the open slots and taking 4 and that kind of thing. The line bonus you will see filled the most is definitely the top one, with Asuka and it being open. So that's kind of the one I want to talk about here. Easiest one to fill. Not easy, but easiest. I think there is 5 or 6 factions maybe that got Asuka at 4-star gold, and then there was very possible to get her from the bags if you had good RNG. So I think you'll see this line bonus filled the most of them by far. It's obviously really good for her bleed set, so, and 2 starting yellow or 2 starting MP. So I would run her yellow black finisher with the bleed, and that would be really good for this one. That's how I would run her with this line bonus. The open slot, if you have Kyrie, obviously that would be the play. I don't have her either, so what I'm gonna do is take my strongest female with Asuka to take advantage of the 2 starting MP. My strongest one that needs it. So I'm gonna run Asuka and probably someone that can really take advantage of it, that's got a little bit of a higher charge. Maybe Beth, or even though she's not super leveled for me at 8K. Maybe Beth, maybe Rhea, maybe Becky. I don't know. I might end up putting Mela there. Just because it's much easier to get to everything, so I may do Mela. So take your strongest one that takes advantage of the 2 starting MP and put it in there. Maybe I'll put Bailey in there. Really easy to get to her to finish her, but it's easy anyway, so I don't know that that's necessarily a benefit or needed. I'd rather take those 8-9 charge people, use them in that slot. So that's what I would do for the top line if you can get the boost. If not, it's open, and make sure you can get your best female in there. So for me, if I don't take Bailey in there, I won't be able to bring Bailey. So it's almost for sure going to be Bailey in that slot for me, actually, now that I'm looking at it here. So I'm going to take 4, Bailey, Asuka, that's 2. I don't have an open 5-star, so that's out the window. I do have any zombie, so that's going to be Zombie Page, so that's 3. So I need to fill 1 more, and it'll probably end up being Mela for the Any Trickster, most likely. I don't see me probably going a different route. So the problems, if someone has a very leveled Asuka, that's going to be a problem for sure. Also, if they have Asuka and Kyrie's going to be an absolute nightmare. I don't expect to see a ton of that, so I don't think you need to worry too much. As usual, Zombie Page is always a problem. The female zombie Austin, so you're going to want to watch out for her. And then Carmella and Bailey are also always issues. So Mela kind of counters herself, so I would use Mela for Mela. If you have any female with an anti-stun, obviously use that against Paige. But again, try and take 4. You don't necessarily have to go big with all 4. In fact, I wouldn't unless you can proper trainer all of them. Again, expect if you go huge with 4 to face a lot of tough opponents. I may not even put Mela in at the Any Trickster. Because I'm going to have a pretty big roster anyway. I'll have to see when it's open. It's hard to say, but I may go with her too and see how it goes, because you can always lower your team. So like usual, guys, be smart about it. I expect, again, this to be another tough one for a lot of people. But everyone's in this case, I think everyone, or excuse me, most people will be in the same boat. So make sure you have your best trainers. If you can fill any of the line bonuses, they're going to be really powerful. The bleed could potentially be 300% if you have the bleed perk like I do. So that one could be really strong. Other than that, and this is kind of why I say I like these universal perks like this, because any zombie I choose or any female I choose here is going to take advantage of these top 2 perks. The Blast Gem one, not so much. Zombie Charlotte would definitely take advantage of that. She throws out random blasts, so I may end up using her as well. She could be pretty solid. So anyway, this feud, like usual, be smart, feud fast, set your lineup appropriate for what you have. Don't go in big just because you can. Minimum is 4. I would say definitely stick to the minimum unless for some reason you can fill the top and the middle one. Bottom line bonus isn't worth chasing in my opinion at all, and not worth filling. But that's kind of my take on that one. So let's get into Feud 3. This one is the one that is going to be the most fun for me. I think maybe the most fun for a lot of people. And I say that because there's some more open slots to work with. So again, if you have Aleister Black, you're going to have really fun feud. Pretty much all feud long you're going to have fun with, except for maybe the female one. But that's going to be a pretty rare line bonus, I would assume. So not going to talk about it too much. The bottom one I feel like is going to be one of the easier ones, the easiest of the 3 to fill, but not easy because Kane Big Dead Machine is still pretty rare. It's a men's feud. Minimum required is 4. 2 versus 2 brawl. Prop limit of 1. 20,000 for a unique win. 30-minute timer. Bottom row definitely has, in my opinion, a pretty decent line bonus with the 2 starting MP and the health. 1 destroys okay, not game changing. Middle line bonus is okay, not game changing. Top one is quite good for Aleister Black, and 2 starting MP obviously is very strong. So again, fairly hard to fill your line bonuses. Minimum is 4. I would definitely recommend taking the minimum. I'm going to be going with the bottom row, mainly because I can fill it. And it's a pretty nice line bonus. So I'm going to run Zombie Kevin Owens, Sacco, Dango, and Kane the Big Dead Machine. Kane, usually I use 2 MP trainers to get his moves off turn 1. Won't have to do that this time, so I can put like Slick Rick on him for when he's blowing up the board with the boss plate, so that'll be nice for him. Dango, it will be very much turn 1, so that'll be my showboat. The open 5-star definitely be Sacco because I have the bleed perk and he can do some serious work for me. And zombie 3-star striker, I won't have zombie Triple H barring a miracle at this point, so it'll definitely be KO. It'll be KO for most people, and that'll take care of my 4. Now, if you can't fill the line, then you have a modern powerhouse slot. Obviously, Keith Lee's going to be really, really good in there. Let me sort this by era and get to modern. Keith Lee is always a problem, line bonus or not. So Drew goes in the modern powerhouse slot, so you can use Drew in there. Shelton is modern powerhouse. Killian Dane's modern powerhouse, and so is Walter. So you could potentially see those guys in that slot. Rowan, obviously the new zombie Daniel Bryan, Planet's champion, could go in there too. So those are some of the bigger names that could fit there. Zombie Tech is going to be, for most people, Jeff or Finn Balor. Zombie Jeff or Finn Balor. So you can potentially fill that there. The Any Trickster slot, that could be useful for a lot of people. You can get your turn 1 sub guys in there to counter the open 5-star. You'll definitely see a bunch of zombie Austins, and then Kane Big Dead Machine. So you can get your edge in there on the Any Trickster, so you have your turn 1 sub guy to deal with that. You can get Under Trickster in there, Taker. He's got a turn 1 sub, so potentially a good counter guy there for you. This, I would say, is going to be a very hard feud if you go big. So Try and have at least one or two turn 1 answers. Take advantage of the open 5-star slot. Bring your best 5-star. Definitely take advantage of that. Any showboat, you're going to probably see some Fiend too. Fiend will be very nasty, especially if you can fill the line bonus. But Fiend's always nasty. So you might see a bunch of Fiend. Probably see some Slick Rick going on. But yeah. I think that's a lot of the big ones. Zombie Roman, not very plentiful, so I don't expect to see a ton of him, but he'll be a problem. Master of the Universe Warrior. Be pretty solid in the any showboat slot, especially if you can fill the line bonus. The starting MP gives him options for builds. He can take advantage of the destroy, so really good line bonus for him. And he can be a problem. As usual, you'll see your 5-star Hogans, your Z Austins, Sakos, Kofis, Earthquake, any of the multi-gem acro guys you could potentially see in there. So your Ricochets, Andrades, that kind of stuff. Zombie Taker. In that 5-star, you could see a lot of that. So that's the usual. Also, wouldn't be surprised to see some strikers, some feud strikers. You'll probably see some HBK and some stuff like that. I think that is gonna probably cover most of this. Perk wise, again, they haven't changed. What I have hasn't changed. For what I'm running, the gem generate in the MP is gonna work on most of them beneficially. I don't see the blast, me using any one blast on this one either. Looking back in retrospect, this was probably not the best purchase for me this month because I haven't used Quake and Austin's blast build as much as I thought I would. It was nice for the first feud because I did run Austin a blast bonus with the line bonus, but looking back, I feel like this was kind of some wasted coin this month. I should have probably stopped at 2 or 1, but it is what it is. Hindsight's 2020. So now let's get into Flash Feud 4. This one is another men's one. Minimum required 4, 2v2, prop limit of 2, first time win bonus of 25,000, and a 25-minute timer. If I recall correctly, this one runs a long time too. Pretty long feud, pretty decent first win bonus. Again, with the line bonuses, Aleister Black going to be a huge problem. Theme there. Any showboat's going to be nice. So in this particular one, the line bonuses are, at least for me, really hard to fill because I don't have Zombie Taker. I would expect that would be the line you would see filled the most, this middle one. And for the people that do, man, he's going to be really, really mean. Really mean. So Zombie Taker, look out. Make sure you can stun him turn 1 or kill him turn 1, or you're not going to have any fun at all. I will say Powerhouse, class advantage over him. So in any Powerhouse slot, someone like Quake who can go off turn 1 can kill him turn 1. That would be a good fit. Any Powerhouse also, you're going to see a ton of Zombie Austins too, as per usual. And he's a good counter for Undertaker as well. So just going to throw that out. I can't fill this middle lane bonus, but it's going to be very, very good. I want to watch out for anyone that can or does fill it. Not going to be fun. Also, the traps are good on a lot of tricksters have traps. So that's pretty solid line bonus across the board. The bottom one, really nice line bonus if you can fill it. But the problem is Planet Zombie is the fill, and he seems so far the rarest. I don't know if he'll be more rare than Aleister. We'll see how his event goes, but I would say of the 2020 zombies, Planet Zombie is the rarest at this point. So I don't think as far as line bonus goes you'll see a ton or be able to fill a ton other than that middle one, unless you're a very lucky person. Looking at you too, Bob. So keep that in mind. Minimum's 4. I'm definitely gonna only take 4. I'm gonna take advantage of the open 5-star. That's gonna be Sako for me, as always. I'm gonna take advantage of the any showboat, and that's gonna be Zombie Kane with the boss plate. And then I'm gonna take advantage of any powerhouse for sure, and that's gonna be most likely Quake, because I want some fast big wins. And he can kill people, almost everyone, turn 1 quite quickly. Could end up also subbing in Zombie Austin, but I'll have Kane with his turn 1 sub to back me up if for some reason Quake can't kill someone on turn 1. And then the other one I will use will be the Attitude Striker, almost for sure. Could do any Trickster and might run some Big E for fun. But I think, also, if someone has this and they have Big E with 2 gears, he's making two extra blacks for the black spam with the line bonus. So if they have Under Trickster and Big E and the 2 gears, good night. I don't want to face that Big E at all. Sometimes once he goes once, you don't get another turn. So yeah, he's definitely going to be a problem. Obviously, Zombie Taker is going to be a problem. Zombie Roman in the showboat slot, any showboat, always going to be a problem. Keith Lee, you can get in there under any powerhouse. Zombie Austin, any powerhouse. So the usual suspects are going to be rough. Again, the open 5-star, you're going to see your normals, your Kofis, your multiply gem guys, the acros, the ricochets, that kind of stuff. The rays, all of that kind of stuff are problems you're normally going to see. Luckily, we have the any powerhouse slot. You're definitely going to need turn 1 answers. So whether it's, if you're lucky enough to have Fiend, I don't, he's obviously can sub turn 1. Slick Rick can sub turn 1, so you can potentially use him. 6, I would expect a lot of people to bring 6 to counter the double purple users like Zombie Austin. Phenom will go in the any powerhouse as another option too. So again, take your best guys that you can fill out really well. So use the any showboat if you got a good one. The open 5-star, the any trickster, the any powerhouse, or the attitude striker. I would expect NWO Brett to be really solid, especially if you could manage to fill this. The 2 starting green MP, very, very good for NWO Brett. Again, almost no one's going to fill it though. But NWO Brett, I really like him. You'll probably see some Shamrock, a bunch of Sting, in that attitude slot. Like I said, a bunch of 6, maybe some NWO Ted. There's just so many good attitude strikers. Hall, Nash, it goes on. There's a lot of solid ones. So Dude Love, Stone Cold Austin 316 is a lot better than people think. So that's all guys you could see with any striker and any trickster. So be smart, fill it out with guys you have that are good. As usual, make sure they're all filled with the proper trainers. Probably see in the any trickster some zombie Cena, some zombie Brock, all that good stuff. So this last one, like I said, it's long. It's 25,000 first win bonus. There's a bunch of open slots. So this is probably the feud where you're going to be able to score the most points because of how long it is. And it's kind of nice it's the last one. I know the timers don't work out great for a lot of people in Europe. Hopefully you have Blitz tickets, because it looks like, for as far as the solo event goes, it's going to be a combination of doing the Blitz and Feud, as well as a few other scoring methods, but it's a combination of those two, it looks like. So if you can't Feud, be doing blitzing. Hopefully you have the tickets to do that. It's going to be a long weekend, guys. It looks like some pretty good prizes though, as far as the prize wall in the solo, and the faction has some nice stuff. So I would expect most people to be factions to be going for it and it to be kind of busy. So, you know, have your energy drinks ready to go and settle in for a long weekend. The first time trying to do the feud prep this way, I don't know if you guys will find it useful or not. Let me know in the comments. This was the only way I was going to be able to get a video out for a bunch of them, so hopefully it helped. The line bonuses are so difficult to fill that it's also kind of hard to prep for. If you got the guys, obviously take advantage of the line bonuses and be smart about it. But for a lot of us, we won't be filling any lines. I'm only filling, I think, 2 line bonuses out of the 4 feuds. So, and I have a pretty big roster, so I would expect it to be a lot of people not able to fill any line bonuses. But hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if it's worth the time to break it down the other flash feuds this way, because this is a much more likely way of me getting all of them done in the future too when we have flash feuds. So very interested to know what you guys think. I'm going to try and put timestamp links in the description for each flash feud, so you can kind of just click and go to the particular spot. So I will try and do that as well. I hope you guys have a really good feud this weekend and have some fun. So thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, and good luck out there.